We have done 4 quests, I believe, in patch 5.1 now. Let me double check. Nope, we've only done 3. Okay, I am not going as quickly as I thought. I have counted, according to the patch notes page, that there are 10 quests. I have only completed 3, so I am now going to do quest number 4. Did they just say what I think they said? Might there really be a way to help Halric and the others? And help ourselves in the process? Corporeal and incorporeal ether. I confess I have never had cause to make the distinction. So let's go to the quests and see if we can, nope, we get no summary for our last quest, so we just go into it blind. Hopefully you saw the last video. Good for the soul. Beklug is ready to speak of the metaphysical. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past, that I was once a mage of the royal court of Verbert, and that soulcraft was my field of study. The tonic you administered to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I hope to do great things for the kingdom. Oh, but in the end, my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the like of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. And now you have a chance to redeem yourself. Meow 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 meow. That I do. A comforting thought, indeed. But let us return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we might revitalize these people's incorporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the skies still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility. But now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for the ether revitalizing magics we will ultimately employ. If you're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan, don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done. If it's all the same to you. Whatever reagents must be procured or spells invoked, I'll do it. I agree, I don't really care about the explanation. I admire your spirit. Very well, your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. Alphino, the water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. You don't mean... The pixies took quite a liking to us before. If we humor them with our company, I'm sure they'll be willing to help us. Oh, fine. We'll pay a visit to Ilmeg, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. Oh, while you're at it, seek out the new Mo of Pla Inni. They will be able to supply you with water suitable for our needs. Right, let's get this over with, shall we? There still remains the matter of the clay. Might I prevail upon you to find it? Leave it to me. I'm good at procuring items. Wait, why are we talking to her again already? Clay from Amarang would likely be best. Know you of anyone who might be able to assist us? I could ask them. Well, there are the scavengers at Mordsuk. Meow, 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 meow. Scavengers, you say? Well, they may know the lie of the land, but I dare say they are more interested in the trinkets and baubles hiding in the earth than the earth itself. Now, miners, on the other hand... Meow, 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 meow. What's that? You know the miners of Twine? Perfect! Speak with them and they should have no trouble procuring what we need. And you should have no trouble procuring it from them. While you and the twins are occupied, I will see if there is aught else I can learn of the stagnation which afflicts the people here. I have no doubt that the miners of Twine can help you find what we need. While you are away, I will do what I can to learn more about the nature of the patient's affliction, as I just stated. So, we're going to see Magnus. It's the typical post-expansion nostalgia tour of all the areas we went to before, to revisit all of the principal characters. Thaffy, Jarek, and Magnus. Sometimes I wish we'd never got that trolley running again. Now Jarek wants more of the bloody things and refuses to shut up about it. I can't stop thinking about that giant Talos we built. Can you imagine what it could do with a matching trolley? It feels like a waste not to build one. Geoff, well, what a coincidence. You've come at a good time. We've just this moment finished repairing the Talos and trolley you lot took to Nabatharang. The trolley was no trouble, but the Talos would have been another matter, had we not had a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man, that Chai knows. He seemed pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant Talos to work. Like a giant trolley. But Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai is just being polite. And something tells me Geoff here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Yeah, meow 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 Clay. Oh, I see. And this familiar requires clay from Amarang. Well, look no further. If anyone can find you some quality clay, it's us. Saying that, it isn't exactly a commodity nowadays, but there must be some lurking around, somewhere or another, waiting to be dug up. If I'm not mistaken, there was a time when they used to take clay from Mount Biran mines to make adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyotes now, but if you're after the good stuff, you could do worse than to look there. Stay safe out there, and remember, you don't need an excuse to come and visit us. Yes, I do. You'll want to be on your guard at the vines. Spend too long peering at the ground and a coyote is sure to come and bite you on the arse. I still say a trolley for that Talos is a good idea. You agree, don't you? Okay, where are we going now? You know, it occurred to me in the video, one of the videos, probably several of the videos that I recorded when I was in this area fighting the coyotes, that I kept calling them coyotes. And if there is anyone out there who is wondering why I kept saying coyotes instead of coyotes, it's because I was making a very subtle joke. It's not that I don't know how to pronounce the word coyote, it's just that I think it's funnier to call them coyotes, as in an old western. Hey, I found some clay. And there's some more clay. And a third clay, but we've been attacked by a wandering coyote. E. Oh, it's level 80. It's an extreme coyote. E. I fear no coyote, though. Coyote or otherwise. I don't remember getting sick of the music in any previous expansion in Final Fantasy XIV. There's a one melody that keeps repeating in almost every track of music. The thing about the road. Blessedly, it's not in this particular piece of music. This melody. Dun, 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 dun. It's like in every track of music. Kind of sick of it now. I'm ready for that melody to go away. The pixies were constantly confusing me with Alize. In jest, I assume. I mean, it's not as if we look that much alike. We don't look that much alike, do we? That had better be the only thing we need from the pixies if I had to endure one more prank, so help me gods. But it's for Halric, Alize. How can you say that? The twins have returned, and in one piece at that. I was convinced the pixies would turn at least one of them into a garden ornament. But no. You have the clay, I take it? I have 3 finely grained sacks of soil material found in Amarang. Wonderful! We need but combine the clay and the water, then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. After that, it will be a simple matter of settling upon a suitable form and performing the necessary incantation. Beck-Lug, I have a question. In the event that we had need of this spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill, yes. Halric and the others have suffered so much, and I swore to do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance this spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state, combined with a strong desire to help them, can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in Norvrent more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so, Tiov? Absolutely, she's the best woman for the job. Our Alizé. Meow 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 meow. I'll give it my all. For Halric. For Tesleen. Oh, Tesleen. Poor Tesleen. Then we are all of a mind on the matter. Alizé shall be the one to conjure the familiar. Right, I'm ready.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay? Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
Shouldn't we have brought in an artist for this?
There we are. How's that?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Alphino?
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Our boy's life is at stake, Alphino. It's no laughing matter.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Halric. Through the operation of the magics you invoked to animate this familiar, it is now replete with the energies required to stir the boy's soul. You need but give it a name, and it will do as your heart desires.
I didn't really follow what we were actually doing here. I don't know if it was supposed to make sense to us, but I don't have any idea how this adorable little porksy here that's flying around is gonna do anything for this kid. But apparently this is supposed to help.
A name.
Call him Alphino. Haha.
All right, I've decided. Now.
Is it gonna be Tesleen?
Go, Angelo!
Angelo? Well, he's glowing now. That seems like a good sign.
Mother,
Oh. Oh no. It didn't work. Mother? By the 12, though it was only for a moment, he spoke. There may yet be hope for these people. The girl's resolve is quite impressive. One might almost think she drew strength from another. Maybe it was me. How is he, Beck-Luke? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. If my eyes do not deceive, a hint of color has returned to his soul. Gods, I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. We're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker. What you may not have realized is that the same is also true of the subject. As such, we must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment, I have the utmost confidence the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I will need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect. That is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Orosite. A thought occurred to me about this treatment. Luke said that when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does that not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slaves to primals, save in a handful of cases. Or am I missing something? Oh, she's thinking of that goblin, I think. If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gaboo! Meow meow! Exactly! His condition is uncannily similar to Halrick's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Forgive me, but who is this Gaboo fellow of whom you speak? Meow 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 meow. I see. His condition does sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you that this is delicate work we do here. Work requiring patience. Of course. As long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through. Well, you're about to go back to the source, though, so you don't have a whole lot of time. But I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angelo and continue with the treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Luke and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I would tell you to rest first, but I see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium, then. Finally, I found you, says an unknown voice. Hey, it's the blue-haired guy. Kashir? What are you doing all the way out here? There's trouble back at Umor. Lady Ty's beside herself. Sighing, pacing, the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go find you. Sighing and pacing, you say? It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go on then. It's not as if I have It's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beklug. Sorry for bothering you and all that, but she says the future of Umor's at stake. Oh boy. What could it mean? The future of Yulmore. Oh no.